There was once a young boy named Samuel who grew up in a small village nestled between rolling hills and endless fields. His family was poor, and life was not easy, but Samuel had a gift. From the moment he could hold a brush, he could paint the most beautiful images anyone had ever seen. His father was a humble carpenter, and his mother worked hard to take care of the family. They didn't understand much about art, but they always encouraged Samuel to follow his passion. Day and night, Samuel would paint old barns, sunlit meadows, stormy skies, and the faces of people in his village. His art was so vivid that it felt alive. But life doesn't always follow the path we expect. When Samuel turned 17, his father fell seriously ill. Medical bills piled up, and the family could no longer afford the luxury of paint and canvas. Samuel put aside his dreams and started working odd jobs to help his family. Every day, he would return home exhausted, his hands blistered and his heart heavy. One rainy evening, overwhelmed with despair, Samuel sat beneath an old oak tree on a hill overlooking his village. With tears in his eyes, he whispered, "God, why would you give me a gift and then take away every chance to use it? Why did you give me this dream only to leave me with nothing?" It was quiet, except for the soft sound of rain hitting the leaves. Samuel didn't realize it then, but his prayer was heard. Time passed. Samuel continued working, setting his dreams aside, believing perhaps he had misunderstood his purpose. But God's plans are never rushed, and they are always perfect. One afternoon, while delivering wood to a nearby town, Samuel noticed a crowd gathered around the local church. Out of curiosity, he joined them and discovered that the old church building had suffered storm damage. The walls were cracked, the ceiling leaked, and the inside was cold and lifeless. A notice hung on the church door, seeking an artist to restore the beauty of our church, payment and supplies provided. Samuel's heart raced. He hesitated. It had been years since he had painted, but something deep within whispered, "This is your moment." That evening, he submitted a sample of his old sketches, expecting nothing. To his surprise, the church leaders were amazed at his talent. They immediately offered him the job. For weeks, Samuel worked on the walls of the church. He painted breathtaking murals of faith, hope, and love. Each brushstroke felt like a conversation with God, as though the years of waiting and suffering had prepared him for this very moment. When the church finally reopened, people came from far and wide to witness the transformation. His artwork touched the hearts of everyone who walked through the doors. What was once a crumbling building became a place of inspiration and peace. Word of Samuel's gift spread quickly. Soon, other churches, galleries, and even art collectors sought him out. His family, once buried under debt, found relief and stability thanks to his newfound success. But Samuel never let the fame blind him. He knew his talent was a gift from God, and that it had bloomed in the right time, not his own. Years later, Samuel would often tell his story to young aspiring artists and anyone struggling to find their path. He would say, "When I lost everything, I thought God had forgotten me. I couldn't see the full picture, but now I understand. The delay wasn't denial, it was preparation. God was shaping me, building my strength, patience, and faith. His plan was greater than mine, and the wait was part of the journey." The lesson. Life rarely goes the way we plan. There are detours, hardships, and moments when everything feels lost. But just like Samuel learned, God has a plan for each of us. Sometimes the waiting, the struggles, and the tears are part of the preparation for something bigger than we can imagine. Our gifts, our passions, and our purpose are not random. They are planted in us for a reason, and when the right time comes, those seeds will bloom. So if you ever feel like giving up, remember, the delays you face are not the end of your story. Trust the process, trust the timing, And most of all, trust that God's plan for you is far more beautiful than anything you could ever imagine.